I'm 11 levels higher and still can't take one critical hit. This achievement is going to wreck me. Welcome to Dragon Ball Team Training. It's a ROM hack of FireRed where it replaces everything with Dragon Ball Z characters. And what's even better, it has achievements built in thanks to the website RetroAchievements.com. And it's my goal to beat some of my childhood games and some other games using Retro Achievements. And I'm starting here with a ROM hack of one of my favourite Pokemon games. There are 83 achievements in total, and let's get straight into it. I chose Goku as my starter because he has the most achievements in game and he's the main character. Although Vegeta's my guy, we'll catch him later. First achievement I got was for catching the Cyberman, who I'm going to use for cut anyway, so I needed him. Also, I'm going to be trying to catch everything possible, since I'll need them all in the end anyway. It's time now for the first missable achievement of the game. There are 5 total in this game, and they're just basically achievements that if you missed doing them the first time, you have to start a whole new game to get them later. This one's just a secret battle you can do against your rival at the start of the game. Luckily I have Goku though, and he's a beast, and the main character. No one beats Goku. And now with that one out of the way, it's time to go find Goku's evil clone, because the first Goku achievement is beating Turles. And he's just outside the first gym, so let's head on over there. Also in the same grass is Goku's brother Raditz, and who does he fear? That's right, Piccolo. So I kicked the crap out of him until he fainted for another achievement. And beating up on these crappy Saiyans made me believe I can take on the first gym, which in this game is Yajirobe and his Saiyan army. And once again, they're no match for Goku. The game itself is actually pretty easy until you get to Elite 4, or the Dragon League. It's just about getting as many achievements done as I can before then, so there's not much of a grind later. I did catch a Nappa on my way to Mount Moon, and had to run back to where I found Piccolo to punch him in the face for another achievement. In the Pokemon Center just before Mount Moon though, this guy tried to sell me a rare Chaozu that cost me $500. He got me the weakest of them all achievement. I don't think he's very good. And Chaozu's dumb, so straight to the box for him. I did have to stop Goku from evolving a few times just so I could beat up Slug outside the next town, but once I got that achievement down, next level up, Goku turned Super Saiyan. And that came just in time because the next gym I was taking on Frieza, and Super Saiyan Goku in a Frieza? That's what you want to see. It is weird though seeing Namekian control Frieza, but fair play to him I guess. Between Namek and the Red Ribbon base, I dropped little Yamcha off to the daycare man because I need Yamcha to beat the final achievement at the end of the game, so I need him to be a little stronger than he is. And spoiler, he doesn't get that much stronger. I cleared out the SSN to get the HM for cut, and my Goku turned Super Saiyan 3. Normally that would be the final evolution, but once I beat the Elite 4, he actually evolves 3 more times I think. The third gym follows the Android saga, so you take on the Red Ribbon Army and their group of androids. But this is 3 badges down, 5 to go, and the game opens up a little bit more after this one. Before the next set of gyms though, I did make sure to go get the XP share because Goku's too much of a beast right now and he's one-shotting everything, so I need to train up some lower ones so I can start catching some things a little bit easier, and also there's a lot of evolutions to do, so I can start working on them now. Anyway, back to the gyms, and the 4th gym leader is Bulma, and she uses the Cell Saga one, so she just uses every stage of Cell. You got Bug Cell, Second Stage, and Perfect Cell. I found out in the game corner that Emperor Pilaf, who they basically take over for Team Rocket in these games, were running an illegal gambling ring underground, so went and shut that down straight away. I'll have none of that in my game, thank you. But then instead of fleeing the city, he just went straight over to the Capsule Corp building and tried to take that over. So let's go deal with that next. Just before I got to face Pilaf though, my rival came out and he was in the same building. Is he on the same team? I'm not actually sure what this is implying, but either way, I'm gonna beat him up. That's happening. So, here's another fight for another achievement, and just after I beat that guy, this guy gave me a free Android 16, which, you know, I need him, I'll take it. I think it's the only way you can actually get this thing. And after running Peel off out of town once again, I got the golden capsule, which I'll use later to catch this game's version of Entei or Raikou, whichever one it is. Now that we have the scouter though, I think it's time to go pay God a visit. And he's on top of the tower, which used to be Lavender Town. Turns out the ghost stopping me from getting through is just a little Garlic Jr. who escaped from the dead zone. Well, let's see if he can escape this capsule. After capturing Garlic, we go speak to Kami, who gives us the ocarina, so we can go wake up Hydreigon, and then put him in a capsule so we can go straight back to sleep. For the 5th badge, we head on over to our Barbity's area, which is the Boo Saga, and luckily I got Super Saiyan 3 Goku, because during the fight for the gym badge, he sends out a Kid Boo, and you need to beat Kid Boo with Super Saiyan 3 Goku in order to get another achievement. So 2 for the price of 1. I met this guy on an island who wanted to trade a Gotenks for a Gogeta. Like a sucker. Little does he know, you can just go find a Gotenks in the game corner. I mean, they cost like 30,000. Anyway, Gogeta being my favourite character as a kid, I remember seeing Gogeta and Vegito and was so hyped. As I imagine most people were. But like, I'm interested to see in the comments who your favourite Dragon Ball Z character was. And you know, if you got the time, dropping a like would really help out the video. On the same island though, this old pervert gave me a badge for beating his team of Turtle School people. And the final matchup was Super Saiyan 3 Goku versus Super Saiyan 3 Goku, which I thought that was pretty neat. Before the next badge though, I went off to these little strange islands where I found the fake Broly. He was painful to catch, but sadly the real Broly isn't in this version. But at least I get a version of Broly. Broly is my favourite movie villain. The fighting dojo next to the next gym replaces Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan with Yamu and Spopovich from the World Tournament Saga. So I beat them, and I got the one that I didn't find in the Barbity Zone because they're a 1% counter, and I didn't want to have to go finding both of them. But right next door to that was the 7th badge, which was defended by Hercule or Mr. Satan, depends on where you are. He wasn't much of a challenge because, once again, my Goku is the main character and has plot armor, so he will not be defeated. The last badge though was Emperor Pilaf, who I think I'm beating for the 12th time in this game, so again, not much of a challenge, but this is where it all starts. This is where the Dragon League is, and this is where it starts to get a little bit harder. You get an achievement for the first time you beat each member of the Elite Four, and first up is East Kaya, whose ace fighter is the Demon Lord Deborah. After him, you take on South Kai, who has a Golden Azaru, which is quite a step up from Demon Lord Deborah. Third was West Kai with his Hydreigon character, which I thought there was only meant to be one of them, but that's fair. And after the battle, my Gotenks turned Super Saiyan 3. He's an amazing character. Last up was the most famous, North Kai, who had both SS Vegito and SS Gogeta. My Goku struggled a little bit with those ones, but I did manage to get the victory. Last up was the most famous, North Kai, who had both SS Vegito and SS Gogeta. My Goku struggled a little bit with those ones, but I did manage to get the victory. Now all that's left is my rival Akira, whose ace was Cell, instead of Majin Vegeta for some reason, who is his starter. This took some revives, but I did get the win because I'm the Dragon Master now. But now is where all the main grinding starts. The first task I wanted to clean up was the legendaries that you can catch on the main island. First up, I went and got Hachiyak from the power plant, who replaces Zapdos. Next up was Bojack from the Seafoam Islands. He needs to evolve a couple times, so I got him, put him in the party. And then, if you collect all the Dragon Balls, you can go take on Shenron himself. And he is one of the hardest to catch because he can heal himself up. So after a few resets, I did manage to catch him though. And let's go do some more island stuff. One of the Kais were having some trouble with Pilaf's crew, so I gave him a little hand. I don't know why he was having trouble because he is an Elite 4 member, but I'm better, so I helped. On Island 5, a girl is lost in a cave and wants your help getting out, but not before she challenges you to a fight for some reason. I would think you would just ask for help out first and then do the fight, but priorities, I guess. And for one final time, I took down the last remaining members of the Pilaf gang and got the Sapphire Crystal for a job to get the trade machine working, but I don't need to do any trades, so it's pointless for me, but I'm here to help. While I was hunting for the 1% Jiren encounter, I had Frieza beat this Jimizu guy for an achievement. Not sure who he is, I think he's from Super. I did end up finding Jiren, which was a relief, it didn't take too long. But now it's time to evolve Goku once again into the God form. And for that, I need a God Stone. The first one I get was for completing another achievement, and that's catching Whiz. Whiz replaced the spot of Deoxys in this game, so you need the Aurora ticket to go find him. I got a little bit distracted and took on a Bug Cell with Future Trunks. Future Trunks is another wicked character. I think I just like Dragon Ball characters, really. But there's a little achievement. Then I remembered what I was actually doing, and I evolved my Goku to God Goku, went to take on Beerus because he's another missable achievement. You do need to beat him with God Goku, and you also need to catch him. So, beat him with God Goku, then I reset and caught him to get my second God Stone of the game. So, one more to go. Then Goku turned Super Saiyan Blue, and he's got one more achievement to do with Super Saiyan Blue before I can get into his final form. And since I had Trunks with me at the time, I got his final battle taking down King Cold. So now I just need to evolve Trunks into his final form once he gets there at level 50, I think it is. But off to Island 7 now for some more one-on-one battles. You get 2 achievements by beating Hit, one with Super Saiyan Blue Goku and the other with Jiren, who I love Jiren, but by the time you get him, you can't really use him, so at least this battle's a bit fun. Looking through the achievements I had left to do, I have no idea why I didn't do this at the start of the game, but you get an achievement for obviously beating Yamcha with a Saberman. And that's probably one of the most famous scenes in Dragon Ball, so I have no idea how I missed that one. I wanted to start working on Vegeta's achievements, so first up you take down Nappa, then you take down basically every member of the Ginyu Force and Zarbon and all that stuff, and then his final one in base form is Pui Pui, who he's tough to find, you need to find him on a trainer. But I did that eventually. But most of the achievements now are just filling out the decks and doing solo battles, so I might just chuck them in a quick montage for you. Just a little interruption, I did happen to beat the upgraded Dragon League for an achievement while I was evolving some things. So, that happened. Took another break from the grind to catch these time-dropping criminals. You fight Zamasu at the top and Goku Black at the bottom, which you can fuse them later, but they come with their own Patori earrings, so that's super helpful. We're on the home stretch here. One more achievement I had to do, which I forgot about, was the roaming dogs are replaced by Super Saiyan gods in this game. So I went around until I found you get the Super Saiyan god that goes with the character you picked at the start of the game. So mine was Super Saiyan God Goku. So once I found him, I used my golden Master Ball on him for a quick achievement there. Four more achievements to go now, and defeating Android 17 was the last battle I needed to do with Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So I didn't want to risk beating the Dragon League with just Yamcha and only having one achievement pop at the time, so I quickly went through with my Mastered Goku to beat the Dragon League just to get the achievement, just so the final thing I can do is the Yamcha one, and that'll be it. The final evolution I needed was Super Saiyan Vegeta turning into Super Saiyan Blue Evolved Vegeta. And once you do that, you open up the Scouter, which is your Pokedex, and the achievement pots for... And with that, there's one thing left to do. Beat the Elite Four with just Yamcha. And as you can see, this wasn't an easy thing to do. I was 10 levels higher at one point, still couldn't take one shot. I even made it all the way to Gogeta, and still couldn't take a hit from him. I was 17 levels higher, as you can see. And then again, on another try, 19 levels higher, couldn't beat Hydreigon. But then, with a little bit of luck and a lot of X specials, X defense, X speeds, I managed to have this run against my rival, and I'll just let this play out for you. And there we have it. That's all the achievements for Dragon Ball Team Training. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I think the next game I might move on to might be a wrestling game, or maybe Yu-Gi-Oh! Who knows? Join me in the next one, guys.